The Worst Mother Alive award goes to Chantel Gardner. Chantel was a 33-year-old aspiring rapper who did shows at small venues around her city and whatnot. And at one of these shows, she met another guy who was also an aspiring rapper who she took a liking to. And eventually they ended up dating, getting married, and ultimately having 2 kids together. Now for the first couple years, everything was going smooth. She had a little work from home job. They would help each other out, taking care of the kids. But Chantel and her husband ultimately ended up growing apart and getting a divorce. And that's where everything started going downhill. Chantel's now ex-husband ended up moving out of state, and apparently he was disabled. So he gave Chantel full custody because he couldn't really help take care of the kids. But he did try to see him or at least talk to him on the phone. But every time he asked, Chantel would either ignore him or just give him some type of excuse as to why he couldn't. And also around the same time, Chantel got a new boyfriend. But every time he came over, they would just be chilling in the parking lot of her apartment complex. Which was odd, but he ain't paying no mind. But the new nigga did know that she had kids. And every time he would ask where her kids was, she would just be like, they either with a family member, a family friend, or somebody in the apartment watching them. When in reality, they was really just upstairs kicking it by themselves. Now Chantel's ex-husband had 2 other children as well, who was damn near grown adults by this time, who he sent to Chantel's house just to see their little brother and sister, check on them and whatnot. And when they got there, they seemed more or less cool, other than the fact that Chantel and the 2 babies smelled like pee, which was a little bit concerning, but he just wrote it off like maybe they was having a hectic day or something. But come to find out, Chantel had developed postpartum depression, which had only got worse after her and twin got a divorce. So in reality, she was in the crib with the 2 babies this whole time, just thugging it, barely washing them, barely feeding them. When they make a mess, she too sad to pick it up. She not picking up after herself. The whole house really just dirty as hell, and that's the whole reason she didn't even want her man coming in. She was too embarrassed to let anybody see it, and she was too sad to clean it up. As time go on, she stopped taking her babies to doctor appointments. She stopped letting them see family members, all type of shit. And the reason was they had got so dirty, they started to develop rashes, their feet was turning red. So she didn't want nobody in the world to see them, because then they was going to know that she was a bad mother and they needed to do something about it. I'm talking about it got so bad that you couldn't go in shorty crib without stepping on poop or some overturned furniture or broken glass. Like, she really got these kids living in a biohazard, like unsafe conditions, gang. And she even knew it was bad, because she ended up leaving altogether. She was like, well, I'm not cleaning this up. I'm really just finna go stay with my boyfriend. Shorty was so thrilled, she didn't even take her kids with her. So she really just packed her stuff, left the crib, and just came back like once a day or every other day to feed the baby, give them water, and wash them once a week. But it got to the point where when she started coming back, her kids started having like poop caked up in their hair, all types of nasty ass shit, gang. Like, she was taking neglect to a whole new level, no cap. Mind you, these kids is only 2 and 3 years old. She leaving them at the crib like they 15, 16. Like, they really got sense enough to take care of themselves. But shit, unfortunately, one day, shorty came back to the crib to bring her some food, but only one of her children came, her son. So she went around the house looking for her daughter, and she found her in the room, laying stiff under a dresser that had fell on her. And not only was she stuck under that dresser, but she also had like bite marks on her skin from being nibbled at by rats and shit. And Chantel's first thought wasn't even to call 911. It was, let me get my baby, put her in some clean clothes and bathe her up so the police don't realize how dirty my child was. Even though she literally laying here, shabigged under a dresser, like, come on, shorty. Ultimately, she ended up getting arrested and charged. I'm not sure with what, but I hope it was for an M, because depression is not an excuse to neglect your children, gang.